HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with everything happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, we talk with book author Peter Zeutland about his upcoming appearance at the Hopkinton Women's Club monthly meeting, and we talk with the Hopkinton Women's Club and Emergency Fund about their upcoming golf tournament. Plus, Hiller Field Hockey is ready to go this season with a brand new head coach at the helm. But first, we take you to Hopkinton Polyarts for an incredible story about a 96-year-old who has participated in every single Polyarts event. Hopkinton Polyarts had their 46th annual event on the Hopkinton Town Common this year. One of the vendors included Marcia Robson, who at 96 years old worked hard to create beautiful knitted products such as clothing items and blankets that were for sale at Polyarts.
I'm selling baby sweaters and mittens and hats and blankets, and been doing it for 46 years.
Oh, wow.
I started with my mother years ago.
Miss Robson has participated in all 46 Polyarts events, but announced that this year's will be her last.
Yeah.
And I understand this is going to be your final year doing Polyarts?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How's the turnout been for you today?
How is what?
You get a lot of people coming over? And
Yeah. There's been a lot here. Congratulate me and everything.
A large quantity and wide array of knitted goods were available, and hours of work went into each and every one of them.
What, like a sweater?
Yeah.
Probably 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can make mittens in a day.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
So, so you made, it looks like a lot of things for this year's Polyarts.
Yeah.
So you put many hours into it, huh?
Yes, a lot of hours.
That's terrific. And what about a scarf? Does that take as long, or?
A scarf, probably a little bit longer. Yeah, probably 2 days.
Surrounded by beloved friends and family, Miss Robson had a great time in her final Polyarts.
Good.
I've had a great time. It's been fun. All the family shows up. We have, like, our family day, and we have a lot of fun.
Congratulations on 46 wonderful years of Polyarts to Miss Robson, and thank you for keeping the community comfortable and warm with your wonderful knitted goods. Be on the lookout for much more coverage of this year's Hopkinton 46th Annual Polyarts Festival on HCAM TV. Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by Hannah Kruger and Tina Astor. Hannah, we'll start with you. Where are you from? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Great. Thank you, Thomas. I am Hannah Kruger. I am the executive director of the Hopkinton Emergency Fund. We are a nonprofit that started about 2 years ago in the midst of the COVID pandemic. And our mission is really to provide emergency financial assistance to folks in town who are in need of help. And we work with other local human service organizations in order to fulfill this mission.
All right, Tina, how about you?
Sure. Hi, I'm the fundraising chair for the Hopkinton Women's Club, and we do a lot of fundraising to support local charities, local projects, and one of our main items is to provide scholarships to students in Hopkinton. And typically we give out $500 scholarships for seniors, and we might do 10 to 15 a year. Hannah's one of those recipients. Okay. You would probably see us at all of the local events, for example, Polyarts and the Holiday Stroll, with a booth and selling whatever we can to try to make money for our goals.
Excellent. And you're both here to talk about an upcoming golf tournament that will take place on Monday, September 26th at the Shining Rock Golf Club in Northbridge. Tell us about this golf tournament, and I understand that it's supporting some very good causes.
Hannah's group started this, so I'm going to let her lead off.
Okay, great. Yeah, so our hope was to kind of come up with an event that, our long-term goal is to become one of those staple events that happen in town every year. And so, we thought that a golf tournament would be a really exciting thing and a way to raise money for our organization, but also really to get our name out there. We're still a pretty young organization, and so we're really trying to push our name into the community. And then we were very fortunate enough to meet Tina and kind of partner with the Hopkinton Women's Club, who, have a little bit more experience and longevity in the fundraising game. And so it's been a really nice partnership for us to be able to work together on this.
Absolutely. We had actually thought about doing a golf tournament pre-COVID. And the year that COVID hit, we had to cancel our plans and put it on hold. So when Hannah and her group reached out, it seemed like a really perfect fit. And it's gone really well because we have a lot of skills and talents that complement each other a lot. So we're looking forward to it. Right now, we have almost 70 golfers, which is fantastic. And we're going to be doing a live auction under the tent, which we have a ton of wonderful prizes, really interesting things. We have had great support from community businesses, and we really appreciate that. We have our lead sponsor is Phipps Insurance, and we are very appreciative to them. They signed on right away. And then we have a 50-50 sponsor, which is Saks Exhibits. And then for Longest Drive, we're just picked up as a sponsor, Ballard Trucking. And we do have some open sponsorships available. If businesses out there would like to step in and participate, we'd be happy to have you. You can go to the website, which, Tom, I think you're probably going to put up for us maybe. Just remember, September 11th is the last day to register. We do have to provide final numbers on the 12th. So if you're interested, please jump on the website by the 11th.
All right, and we will indeed put up that website. So the funds raised are going to go to different programs that both organizations are involved with?
Yes, we're going to split 50-50.
That's terrific. And it seems like you have a great turnout, and hopefully the weather will be good, and there'll be no rain, and it'll be a great day of golfing. Is there anything else that you want to mention? And also, can you talk about how people could find your organization? Hannah, we'll start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So also, we would also just throw out there, if there's any businesses who are interested in becoming sponsors, feel free to reach out to us as well. And we're willing to work with folks on sponsorships and what that looks like. And with regards to finding our organization, our website is hopkintonemergencyfund.org. And then we also have a Facebook page under Hopkinton Emergency Fund.
Terrific. And Tina, anything about the Hopkinton Women's Club that you want to mention? And also, where can people find you?
Okay. We are always welcoming new members, women, and we encourage our new members to get active in the community to help us with fundraising. And we especially are trying to attract younger women. We have children in the school system for whom we generate fundraising to give scholarships to. And our website is HopkintonWomen'sClub.org, also on Facebook.
All right. Well, Hannah, Tina, it's been great talking to you, and hopefully the golf tournament goes well. It sounds like you already. Have a great turnout, and hopefully it'll be a great day for you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom. If you play golf, please sign up.
I try.
All right. Thanks a lot.
We are going to take a quick time out. A whole lot more ahead, including a look at Hiller Field Hockey. You're tuned into HCAM News. Don't go anywhere. HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by Peter Zeutland. Peter, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tom?
Doing well. Can't complain. Fall is coming, and the weather is still beautiful, so that's a good sign. And we finally got some rain, so that's certainly nice. But I understand you're going to be at the Hopkinton Women's Club monthly meeting. But before we get into that, why don't you just tell us about yourself and tell us about what you do.
Well, I'm a lapsed lawyer, and like many lapsed lawyers, I became a writer at some point in my adult life, and I've written, I guess, 9 books now, and I do some freelance journalism. And the talk I'm giving to the Women's Club focuses on my first and my last book, which covered the same subject. First one was nonfiction, and the last one was a novel based on that story.
Terrific. So how'd you end up getting involved with the Hopkinton Women's Club?
I'm not quite sure how they found me. People do have a way of finding you when you're an author and you've written something they're interested in. And as we'll get into, what I'm going to talk about is the story of an extraordinary woman at the turn of the 20th century who did a very radical thing. And women tend to find this story pretty engaging.
Excellent. So how long have you been writing for, and how many books do you have in total?
Oh my God. So nine books altogether. I started writing, oh my goodness, probably 25 years ago. Did a lot of freelance writing for the Boston Globe and Christian Science Monitor and some other newspapers and magazines. And my first book was published in 2007. And got about a book every other year since then.
So can you tell us what inspired the story that you're going to talk about? Around the World on Two Wheels is one of the books, and then Spin is the other book. Let's start off with Around the World on Two Wheels. Tell us about that story.
Same basic story, but in the early 1990s, my mother received a letter from a complete stranger telling her that he was researching the story of the first woman to go around the world on a bicycle. And he had done some genealogy research and suspected that my mother might be related to this woman in some way. My mother shared the letter with me. She had never heard of this woman, but it was clear from the information in the letter that he had actually found the right family. He had, we were in fact connected pretty directly to the woman that he was researching, but it was not a story that was known at all to my own family. And I got back to him on my mother's behalf and told him it sounded like an amazing story, but unfortunately we weren't able to help him because we had never never heard of her. And I have my suspicions as to why that might be the case. But nevertheless, about 10 years later, the same gentleman wrote to me again, asking if we had learned anything in the 10 years, and we hadn't. And I had occasionally asked family members, older, grandparents, great aunts and uncles, complete blank, nothing on the internet about her. And 10 years later, in 2003, my interest was piqued sufficiently to dive in and see what I could find. I didn't think I'd find anything, but 4 years of intensive research allowed me to uncover an enormous amount of detail about this extraordinary woman who did something extraordinarily radical in the 1890s.
And that story kind of continues in spin, if I'm correct?
Well, the first book, Around the World on Two Wheels, was my attempt to sort of establish the historical record of this journey, which had been lost to history for over a century. And that was a nonfiction account. It was sort of a, just the facts, ma'am account. A couple of years ago, the New York Times did what they call an overlooked obituary. They've been doing a series of obituaries in the Times about women and people of color who, in retrospect, the Times think were overlooked and didn't get an obituary they might have deserved, which is quite an honor in the New York Times. And they did an obituary about my ancestor. And my wife, who's very involved in the book club world, basically told me I had to revisit the story as a work of historical fiction, because so many people like to read historical fiction, and I had already done the research. So Spin, which came out just last year, I revisit that story, but I throw a lot of my own imagination into it, fill out the record, as it were. And since my great-grandaunt was quite a storyteller and quite a spin artist herself, I felt quite liberated to even layer my own imagination on top of hers. So what you get in Spin is truly anchored in a historical, set of historical facts, but with a fair amount of creativity thrown in. So the two books cover the same territory, but one is nonfiction and one is fiction.
Well, it sounds like very interesting, terrific stories. And you'll be with the Hopkinton Women's Club on September 19th for their monthly meeting. Where could people find more about you that want to learn a little bit more?
I have two websites. If you're interested in the story, my ancestor, by the way, wrote under an assumed name when she traveled the world by bicycle, and it was Annie Londonderry, because she had a corporate sponsor, the Londonderry Spring Water Company of Nashua, New Hampshire. She was a pioneer of sports-related marketing. So you can go to annielondonderry.com, and you'll find a lot more information about her and about the books. I also have an author website, which is my name, Peter Zeutland, ZHEUTLIN.com, and you can see information about my other books too.
Well, Peter, we look forward to hearing you talk at the Hopkinton Women's Club monthly meeting, and thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us today.
Next time, I appreciate it and look forward to seeing everyone there.
Hillers Field Hockey welcomed a brand new head coach, Allison Valencia. We caught up with the first-year head coach as well as this year's captains. Hopkinton Hillers Field Hockey is coming off a tough 2-15-1 season, but this year returned some great experience to the team and an experienced field hockey talent, Allison Valencia, who is at the helm for her first season as coach.
My name is Ali Valencia. I've been coaching for almost 15 years now, which is so bizarre. I started coaching in college as kind of just a side gig and to keep myself involved in the sport while I was still playing and in the off season in college. And then when I graduated, I was lucky enough to go play abroad a little bit. And then when I came back, I just missed the sport once my playing career was over. So I started coaching over at Foxborough, and we had a really successful couple years over at Foxborough when I was there. And I stepped away from high school coaching for a little bit, with my new job that I had, and just the scheduling is really tough. But still was involved in coaching and club and things like that. But I was super excited when this opportunity arose, and I jumped on it. So here I am, and I'm ready to help this team out.
Terrific. Where did you go in your school days?
I played over at Worcester State for 4 years, and then I played in Scotland for a summer after I graduated.
Okay. High school?
Oh, high school. I actually went to Foxborough High. Yeah.
All right, so how's the team looking so far in these early days?
I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing so far. A lot of good energy from these girls. Great leadership from our upperclassmen, our seniors and our juniors, which is super important, especially me as coming in here not knowing anybody. So having these seniors kind of help me out and really set the tone for practice has made my job a little bit easier. Their experience and their skill level is definitely helping us, I think. And these girls are willing to learn. It's awesome. I know they had a tough season last year, but they're ready to win. They're ready to work hard. And, our team motto and our team theme this year is to win the day and just win the small drill that you're working on, win at sprinting, just taking it one day at a time.
And I think it must have made the transition easier for you knowing that you have an experienced team.
It did, yeah, it definitely did. I was lucky enough to coach Camille Perlov and Marcia Robson in club, so I knew that I had a couple good older experienced kids, and they gave me some background of the other seniors and juniors, so I was very excited to have some good leadership and some veterans on the team.
And what are some of these drills that you're working on as we head into the first week of the season?
A lot of drills, passing, moving the ball, keeping possession of the ball. Longer the days of field hockey where you just hit and hope. Field hockey is definitely a possession game, a keep away game. I think another thing we're really trying to work on is just getting a lot of shots on net, and our rebounding is super important. So possession, a lot of shooting.
Terrific. Well, Coach, we're looking forward to the season, and we're looking forward to covering this team on HCAM.
Yeah, thank you. Hope everyone comes out to a couple of games.
The Hillers will have some very experienced captains leading the way.
I'm Maura Souza. I play midfield. I'm Maya Ghosh. I play forward.
I'm Erin Halloran. I play forward.
I'm Camille Perlov. I play forward and mid. Practices have definitely been intense. They've been definitely a lot more. There's definitely a lot more conditioning, which is good for our team. We definitely want to be the most fit team in the TVL, which I think will help us tremendously when it comes to games.
Team's looking great. I've never seen our girls more motivated and happy to be here, which is lovely to see. Practices, scrimmages are going great so far. Like I said, I just love seeing the girls motivated and happy to play.
Everything's going great. It feels good to be a senior and to feel like a leader on the team. And I really look forward to coming every day and making sure everyone's excited to be here. Yeah, like Erin said, I think the intensity's definitely been up. We had our preseason and we had 2 scrimmages. And I think that we're just really focusing on some of the smaller skills and playing together as a team so that when we do get into our season, we're ready to go and it translates.
And do you have any goals this season that you'd like to accomplish?
Yeah, we want to make it to playoffs, and 2, like I said, we want to be the most fit team in the TVL.
Like they said, I really would like to win some games and make it to playoffs this year.
Yeah, I want to win some games. I want to get a groove going. But yeah, that's my main goal. I want to have fun and win some games.
And how are you liking your coach?
I love her. Coach V is the best.
Yeah, senior year, so I'm really looking forward to having a good year and playing some high-level hockey with all my friends. And yeah, I think it's going to be a winning season. Both of our scrimmages we've won so far, so we're excited for a good year.
Terrific. And how are the newer players looking?
Yeah, we have a lot of returning players. I think we only have 4 newer players, and everyone's really fit right in and is ready to go. And they've all been playing in our scrimmages, and we're really lucky to have such a great team.
All right, terrific. And it must be nice to have an experienced team.
Yes, definitely. Last year was tougher. We had a lot of seniors graduating the prior year, so it was definitely our rebuilding year, and it's nice to have a lot of people returning and knowing what we're doing.
Be sure to catch Hopkinton Hillers field hockey on HCAM throughout the season. time to tell you about some happenings in town you should know about. The Hopkinton Women's Club and the Hopkinton Emergency Fund Golf Tournament will take place on Monday, September 26th at the Shining Rock Golf Club in Northbridge. The tournament proceeds go to the great community work of the Hopkinton Women's Club and the Hopkinton Emergency Fund. Hopkinton Family Day is this coming Saturday, September 17th from 2 to 9 p.m. with the great fireworks show taking place at 8 p.m. The legendary fireworks are back. All festivities take place at the high school athletic fields. Join us for family fun for all ages, plus the amazing fireworks display. You can find a bunch of information about Hopkinton Family Day at our website, hcam.tv. And also, September 17th, the second annual Community Health Fair will take place, sponsored by the Hopkinton Health Department. That will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hopkinton Town Common. Our picture of the week, retiring 96-year-old Miss Robson participated in her final Hopkinton Polyarts with friends and family by her side. She has provided fantastic knitted shirts, scarves, and other items for all 46 years of the Hopkinton Polyarts Festival. Upcoming town government meetings include on Monday, September 19th at 7 p.m., the Planning Board, airing on HCAM TV, and on Tuesday, September 20th at 6 p.m., you can catch the Select Board meeting. To view all upcoming town government meetings, head over to hcam.tv/gov, and for more information, you can head over to hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, we will be back next week. However, HCAM News will now air Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m., so you can catch us on a weekly basis on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. as part of must-see HCAM TV on Wednesday nights. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care, be well, and we'll talk to you again soon.